Ever since Ukraine demonstrated that unmanned vehicles could not only be effective in its war against Russia, but could also be the most important weapon of the entire conflict, there has been a race to develop new and more innovative types of drones. Ukraine has demonstrated mastery in the skies with drones, and it is now achieving similar success in the seas. But it has also been building ground robots, and those ground-based drones are transforming from logistical assets to offensive nightmares for which Russia has no answer. It's the rise of the ground robots, as Ukraine pulls off the impossible with a historic first frontline kill. Defense Express provides the basic details in a December 10th article, in which it explains that Ukraine carried out what it calls a milestone special operation. That operation saw Ukraine deploy a ground robot to directly confront a Russian armored vehicle as it attempted to support an assault against Ukraine's defenses. The vehicle in question was an MTLB armored personnel carrier, a Soviet-era relic still widely used throughout the Russian military. Army recognition says that there are more than 80 variants of this particular vehicle, meaning Russia has tweaked it constantly since it was designed in the 1960s. There are also 1,493 MTLBs still in service, the outlet reports. Capable of carrying up to 11 soldiers, the MTLB is equipped with a machine gun turret to take out small threats on its route and has an all-welded steel armor hull designed to protect the crew from small arms fire and shrapnel. With a range of 500 kilometers, about 310 miles, and a top speed of 62 kilometers, about 38.5 miles per hour, it's far from the most impressive armored vehicle in Russia's arsenal, but it's widely used, and if left to go about its business, it's a great vehicle for transporting troops to assault positions. Ukraine needed to do something about the incoming MTLB, and it was soldiers of the country's 5th Separate Assault Brigade that came up with an interesting idea. Rather than shelling the vehicle on its approach or deploying FPV drones to destroy it with kamikaze raids, the brigade decided to deploy a next-generation response that showcases how Ukraine has once again changed the game on the unmanned vehicle front. A ground robot was sent into battle. The 5th Separate Assault Brigade explained what happened next in a telegram post. At night, the enemy prepared to storm the positions of the 5th Assault Brigade. Our crews brought into operation droid ground combat platforms equipped with a heavy machine gun, the brigade states in its social media post. One of the operators spotted through a thermal imager an MTLB carrying infantry moving directly into the kill zone. The 12.7mm machine gun fire pierced the side of the vehicle, hitting the crew and assault troops on board. The description of events was published alongside footage of the incident, demonstrating that Ukraine isn't making any of this up to make its ground robots seem more dangerous than they are. The robot was deployed, and by taking out an MTLB, it completed a world-first kill in combat. After Ukraine's drone had ripped through the MTLBs with machine gun fire, likely killing or injuring the crew and assault troops on board, the vehicle spun out of control. It veered toward its own soldiers before passing with mere inches of the very ground robot that caused the damage. The robot appears to have followed up its initial volley of fire with more targeted strikes on the armored vehicle's rear, eventually bringing it to a complete stop. As impressive as all of this already is, what's even more astounding is that this operation wasn't carried out against an MTLB that was operating in isolation. Russia's armored vehicle was just one part of an active assault against a Ukrainian position, meaning the ground robot's operators had to navigate a full assault team to reach their target. Once the MTLB was taken out, Russia's attempted assault collapsed. Ukraine lost no soldiers. The operator driving the ground robot pulled all of this off from a safe distance away. 5th Assault continues integrating cutting-edge technology and rewriting the rules of modern warfare, the brigade declared in the wake of its world-first frontline kill. One of the more interesting things about what Ukraine just achieved is that the 5th Separate Assault Brigade actually had an unintended practice run for this special operation just days earlier. On November 30th, United 24 Media reported that the brigade had deployed one of its ground robots in a field test, presumably to determine how effective it could be as an offensive force against Russia's armored vehicles. Russia was supposed to be nowhere in sight during this test. However, as the outlet reports, Ukraine's robot came across an MTLB unexpectedly during the field test. We also know a little about the robot that the 5th Separate Assault Brigade deployed during this historic encounter. According to Defense Express, the robot is developed by a company called DevDroid, which is participating in Ukraine's Brave One program. Brave One is a government-backed project that launched in 2023, and it essentially serves as an innovation hub for Ukraine's drone developers. United 24 Media says that the program provides a platform upon which drone developers can showcase their latest products and gain feedback from soldiers who advise on how those products can be tweaked to make them more effective on the battlefield. Brave One is a program designed to unite Ukraine's top technological minds, allowing them to gather feedback and refine their products. For Ukraine, it's a pipeline for new defense technology. DevDroid's ground robot, equipped with a remotely operated weapon station, is a prime example of this innovation. The station allows operators to control the robot and its Browning machine gun independently, enabling precise attacks on enemy targets from a safe distance. While Ukraine has deployed many ground robots, DevDroid stands out. Unlike previous drones, it presents a significant threat to Russia's armored units. Defense Express notes, this operation represents the first confirmed instance of a Ukrainian ground robot destroying Russian armored equipment in combat. This marks a pivotal shift in Ukraine's military strategy, showcasing the growing potential of ground robots as an offensive weapon on the battlefield. So, what does this world-first kill of an armored vehicle by a ground robot mean for the future of the Ukraine war? While Ukraine's success with the DevDroid is impressive, it's just the first instance of its kind. For these robots to be truly effective, Ukraine will need to replicate this success across the front lines. Consistent use and further development will establish ground robots as a viable offensive asset for Ukraine's defense strategy. Assuming the DevDroid and similar robots become established as regular offensive tools, they could significantly enhance Ukraine's defensive capabilities. According to Defense Express, the emergence of these drones as offensive assets would offer frontline units tremendous flexibility in responding to Russian assaults. Instead of relying on manned defenses, Ukraine could deploy robots to address threats as soon as they arise, minimizing risk to soldiers. With a manpower crisis severely impacting Ukraine's ability to defend its territory, ground robots like DevDroid provide a crucial solution. Reports suggest that Ukraine's forces are struggling to maintain enough troops on the front lines, with some regions, like Pokrovsk, facing imminent capture. These robots could relieve the strain on human soldiers, offering a force multiplier in Ukraine's ongoing defense against Russian aggression. For more updates on Ukraine's military innovations, don't forget to subscribe to the Military Mind for in-depth coverage of the latest developments.